Well, the Romanian politics has thrown us another unexpected twist. If you thought that the drama had reached its peak back in November, think again. After the Constitutional Court decided to annul the previous presidential vote over concerns of Russian interference and questionable TikTok campaigning, yes, TikTok, Romania is now finding itself needing to reset the electoral process. Now, the first round of the re-election has once again stirred the things up for both Kiev and Brussels. In what could be a stunning first round result, George Simeon, the leader of the Alliance for the Union of Romanians (AUR), is likely to come on top with 40.5% of the vote. Simeon, who's as subtle as Molotov cocktail and just as explosive, is now heading into a runoff with Nico Sardam, the centrist mayor of Bucharest, who is trailing with just 20.9% of the vote. This election rerun ordered by the Constitutional Court was meant to clean the mess after authorities nullified the previous result. The reason behind this was the allegations of Russian interference and an AI-fueled TikTok campaign that gave the signal boost to Georgescu, who actually won the annulled vote. However, instead of having another chance, Georgescu faced a ban from rerunning, largely due to the claims of foreign interference. Yes, this was the EU's elite state at work. And just like that, Simeon slid in as the ideological successor. One can call him Georgescu 2.0, but only louder, angrier, and even more allergic to Brussels. Simeon's campaign was the same populism, angry, nationalistic, and dripping with the anti-EU and anti-Ukraine sentiment. He called for ending of the military aid to Kiev, telling that Brussels must mind its own business and take back Romania's sovereignty. He also came down heavily when Georgescu was nullified. In early 2025, Simeon and his party endorsed Georgescu's presidential candidacy. Simeon even chose not to run himself, stating that he will be better suited as the prime minister, and even emphasized that Georgescu's candidacy reflects the will of the Romanian people. But once the deep state acted, Simeon rushed to rescue. And of course, this election outcome didn't happen in a vacuum. There is a real sentiment simmering in Romania, especially in the countryside. The Ukrainian grain has been flooding Romanian markets, undercutting the local farmers. There are whispers that Kiev dumped produce across the border without a care, even manipulating the Danube flow. Whether exaggerated or not, the damage was felt very real by the Romanian farmers. This was evident when they protested in large numbers. And Brussels, well, they barely took any action. They were more focused on hugging Zelensky than hearing out the angry Romanians. So yes, Ukraine and the EU both are in the firing line. The idea that Ukraine is some innocent neighbor doesn't fly here. Many Romanians see Kiev not as a victim but as a reckless neighbor who played dirty to survive and left others to pay the price. Meanwhile, the EU elite kept lecturing Romania about solidarity and shared values while ignoring the economic fallout at home. That is why Simeon and Georgescu's message was pretty clear. Romania first, and now it is resonating loud and clear. But viewers, let's not forget the ghost in the room, Georgescu. His fall was a warning shot from the establishment. Though exiled from the ballot, his spirit still loomed large. His fall from grace wasn't just about foreign influence. It was a red flag that Romania's deep state and pro-Western establishment are still willing to step in when undesirable outcome appears. So this 18th May, Romania will choose a moderate technocrat with a broom or a nationalist fire starter with a flamethrower. Either way, Brussels and Kiev are bracing themselves, because if Simeon wins, the EU will lose another obedient partner and Ukraine will lose a critical ally. In fact, Ukraine will get a neighbor that is quite skeptical of him. And unlike Georgescu, this one is not going quietly. Unless, of course, Brussels has another emergency democratic adjustment up its sleeve.